Hello, families. So I've talked to several parents since we've been doing parent-teacher conferences, and several of you have expressed some concerns about how you can help your child improve with their spelling or with sight words or with other things that we've been learning about in class. And so I am creating this video to help you with those things. So the first thing that I want to point out is with our spelling. So for spelling, if you'll notice, when you get the list each week, we follow a spelling pattern. And each week we add something new that adds on to the pattern that we've already learned. Now, initially, we were learning, we just focused on the vowels. And in class, we made up a song, and the song is Old Miss Johnson's Farm. So if your child has been reading or singing this song to you, please don't be alarmed. We made up the song in class, so that's why you probably don't understand it. And no, on Miss Johnson's Farm, we do not sing E-I-E-I-O. On Miss Johnson's Farm, it is because those are the vowel sounds. So if the song goes like this, let me make myself a little bit bigger so that you can see me. So the song goes like this. Oh, Miss Johnson had a farm, and on that farm she had an apple, with an here and an there, here and there and everywhere and Oh, Miss Johnson had a farm, and on that farm she had an inchworm, with an here and an there, here and there and everywhere and Old Miss Johnson had a farm, and on that farm she had an ostrich, with an here and an there, here and there and everywhere and Old Miss Johnson had a farm, and on that farm she had some eggs, with an here and an there, here and there and everywhere and Old Miss Johnson had a farm, and on that farm she had an umbrella. Why did she have an umbrella? Because she has to go out and feed the animals. She's going to need that umbrella if it's raining. Old Miss Johnson had an umbrella, with an here and an there, here and there and everywhere and Old Miss Johnson had a farm, and that is Old Miss Johnson's farm. Now, when we're studying our spelling words, and especially this week, we're focusing on the vowel sound. So the vowel is always in the middle of the word. And if we're learning the pattern and we talk about what sound we hear at the beginning and what sound we hear at the end, then we are simply building on the pattern. And that is what we want them to do. So in the word chin, we've already had, let me find my pen. We've already had words that had the we had win and pin and thin. So this week we have the word chin, and Clever Cat and Honey Horse make the ch sound. Chin. Then we have the word quit. Now we've already had it in like fit and mix and six. And if you can spell those words, then you should still be able to spell words that end in it, like hit, sit, fit. And if you can spell hit and sit and fit, then you can spell the word quit. it. And today we learned that Quarrelsome Queen, she never goes anywhere without her royal umbrella. Quarrelsome Queen is an angry queen, but you know what? Uppy umbrella makes her all happy. So, Quarrelsome Queen is happy when she's with Uppy umbrella. Together they can be seen all over Letterland, and together they say, "Qu, qu," and the word is quit. So that is how I explain to them how we create these new spelling patterns. So when we look at a new word, we can look for how is it familiar? How is the word familiar? And then we add, well, how is it different? And if we're talking about how is it familiar, how is it the same, or how is it different, then that is how we can learn to focus on the pattern and not just memorizing those words that we have each week. So for example, we've already had the word had. Had has already been one of our spelling words. Well, this week, our word is has. How are they alike? They both begin with and ah, but had ends with a d, which is Dippy Duck sound, or D. Has ends in Sammy Snake, or S sound. So we look for those patterns that help us. We look for those patterns that help us to spell or sound out these spelling words. So when I look at another word like such, well, if I think about words that we've already had, like the sounding words, and I think about such and much. This is the same. If I can spell mug, I can spell much. And if I can spell much, then I can spell such. So it's helping them to make the connections with the sounds. And look, here is much, here is such. And we're just using the sounds that we know, and we're building on what we need to know. Hen was one of our spelling words in a previous week. This week, all we're doing is adding an S. Last week, we learned about plurals, and we learned that when you add an S, it means that there's more. So instead of having one hen, there are more than one hen. We have multiple hens, so there are hens. There are many hens in the chicken coop. I hope that this makes sense to you. If you have more questions, please feel free. Just another quick note. So the word quack, okay? Well, we have had the words back, we had the word pack, we had the word sack. Those were all words from one of the first weeks that we had spelling words in school, right? Well, now instead of just memorizing a new word, we're thinking back. How were those words spelled before? So back is back, using the CK at the end. Pack was ack, CK at the end. What does Quarrelsome Queen and Umbrella Bird say? They say qu, and we have that same ack that we've already had from the beginning of our spelling journey. Okay, I hope this helps.